Mr. Scott, let me start with you. You represent the largest association of PBM companies, I think. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I believe the only.
The largest and only. Perfect. Now, just help me understand what it is your business is supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be making drugs cheaper for patients. Is that basically right?
We're supposed to help employers and plan sponsors administer benefits at a more affordable point for the consumers.
Okay, more affordable for consumers. That's patients. So you're supposed to be making would you say that you're succeeding?
We've had success in managing the net cost of drugs across most categories of medications, and yes, in large part, but we have the challenge of ever-escalating drug company list prices to work against.
Okay, let me translate that for you. I think the answer you're looking for is no. You're not succeeding at all. Look, let's look at some data. This data shows the percentage that Americans pay more than other countries for brand name drugs. In Canada, we pay 324% more than Canadians pay, 445% more than France, and so on. On average, all together, we pay 422% more than all of these other countries. Now, either you're the worst negotiators in the history of the world, or something's wrong with your business model. Which is it?
Those, if I may, Senator, those are comparisons of list prices. Drug companies alone, as we talked about earlier, set the list price. The PBM is negotiating down the net cost.
Look, this consumers are. You're not telling me that consumers aren't paying more in the United States than they are overseas, are you?
I think the data would tell us that they are exposed to higher price points. And then it comes to an issue of benefit design. The plan decides what your copay is,
and the benefit, here's the benefit design. The design of the plan benefits the insurance companies and you. It does not benefit the patients. Patients are getting screwed, if I may. We are paying 2, 3, 4 times more for drugs. People in my state can't afford insulin. They can't afford the most basic drugs. That's when they have plans that are managed by you, and you guys are getting rich off of it. I mean, absolutely filthy rich. The FTC's report, so this is the government report now, found that the top 3 PBM companies generated $7.3 billion in profits between 2017 and 2022. $7.3 billion. That's a lot of money. Why is it that nobody can afford their drugs in this country, but you're making $7.3 billion? That's more than the revenue of some nations.
If I may, 2 points. One, you're not wrong that we need more competition among drug companies. The patent reforms that you all have advanced in this committee, the more we can have competition, we can leverage that to address that cost challenge that we have.
I'm glad you say we need competition,
and
because
second,
don't you think the competition we really need is to break up this alliance between insurance companies and PBMs?
No, sir.
The biggest 3 PBMs are owned by the biggest insurance companies. You're like one huge, giant pharma industry, a giant pharma series of monopolists, right? Why is it a good idea for the biggest PBMs to be owned by the biggest insurers, and now you're buying up pharmacies as well? Why should we allow that? Why should insurance companies, PBMs, also own pharmacies?
So
How is that good for patients?
It's good for patients and for plans because it's creating optionality in the market.
It's creating optionality. In the state of Missouri, just last year, we lost 73 independent pharmacies across my state in 19 different counties. Do you know that 2 entire counties in the state of Missouri now have, wait for it, 0 pharmacies? 0. Now, you are making $7.3 billion, you and the companies that you represent, and yet 2 whole counties in the state of Missouri have no pharmacies, 73 closed last year. Why shouldn't we be breaking you guys up? I mean, this looks like classic monopolist behavior. The patients are getting screwed, Missourians are getting screwed, you're getting rich.
Respectfully, Senator, you keep citing a gross revenue number of the drug, every dollar spent on prescription drugs.
You don't have profits?
Profits are in the low single digits on
Your profits are not better than they've ever been?
I don't know on the trend over the years.
Yes, you do. You know exactly. It is all laid out in the FTC report. You absolutely know the answer. Your profits have increased and increased and increased, and now you are buying up pharmacies, and you're buying up pharmacies and you're putting independent pharmacies out of business, and you're doing it deliberately because you are giving special rebates and lower costs to the pharmacies that you own, and you are directing patients to the pharmacies that you own. such that if they don't go to a pharmacy that you own, they have to pay higher costs, they have to pay out-of-network costs, right? You're nodding your head, Dr. McGowan. You've lived this, right?
I have lived this. I live it every day. Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
So, Mr. Scott, why don't we break you guys up? Can you agree? I mean, if you believe in competition, you just said a second ago, we need more competition, by golly. Well, let's do it. And let's break up the let's pass a law that says PBMs cannot own pharmacies. You for that?
No, sir. And we've seen that competition grow in the last 5 years by 18% in the PBM market, by 9% in the last 2 years.
Wait a minute, you've seen the number of pharmacies grow in this country?
The number of PBMs, meaning it's a competitive marketplace.
It's not a competitive marketplace. The biggest 3 PBMs own 80% of the business, 80%. And you're in turn owned by the biggest insurance companies. The problem is there is no competition. It's a racket. It's a total racket, and the people who lose are the patients who cannot afford their prescription drugs. It's time for this Congress to do something about it.